Don't be shy, boy, don't be coy, boy, I like your style. Never notice how my heart skips when you smile. Oh, the fun loving lays. We were so young, we were so young. Young and pretty, always with love. Turn you out, we never know. We were so young.
Crossing watch it on the news, how we went and lit it up. And now the youth of the nation, they ain't giving it up. Well, the youth of the nation, they ain't giving it up. Because they're fighting for their freedom and they never gonna stop. Hear the youth of the nation when they say it must stop. They are the youth. Say what the youth. They are the youth. Say what the youth. Now the enemy pushing, they ain't giving it up. They say the history's being built on shooting it up. Well, it's time to drop your gun, seal your fate, and watch it pop. Hear the youth of the nation when they say it must stop. Now the youth of the nation, they ain't giving it up. Well, the youth of the nation, they ain't giving it up. Because they're fighting for their freedom and they never gonna stop. Hear the youth of the nation when they say it must stop. They are the youth. Stay with the youth. They are the youth. They are the youth of the nation and they never gonna stop. Tick tock, they never gonna stop. Well, tick tock, they never gonna stop. Tick tock, they never gonna stop. Because the youth of the nation won't let the friends drop. They are the youth. You know, it ain't no fake ID to get a gun at a store. You can pay cash down and you get a few more. The NRA's drooling cause they selling more and more. As the country implodes and the president's a whore. Now the youth of the nation, they ain't giving it up. Well, the youth of the nation, they ain't giving it up. Because they fighting for their freedom and they never gonna stop. Hear the youth of the nation when they say it must stop. They are the youth. Stay with the youth. They are the youth. Stay with the youth of the nation when they say it must stop.
How the fuck is everybody, man? It has been a long fucking time since I've done one of these, so it's really good to be back. Today we got Neil Fraser from RideUK. He's going to talk to us a little bit about the downfall of BMX media, mainly like magazines and stuff like that. So I'm definitely really excited for that. But before that, we're just going to talk about a couple different things that are going on in BMX right now. So we'll start off with just basically what I've been up to. So I'm actually creating a website at the moment, and one of my best friends and I are starting a TV show. So it's going to be animated. It's going to be a lot of fun. I got the idea just from doing Space Goats and some of the stuff that we did with that. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be a little long before that's out, but it's definitely in the works right now, and it's going to be fucking awesome. So make sure you check that out. So what I want to do is I want to do like a video of the week. So right now, the video of the week that you guys should check out is the all-day BMX shop street jam video. It's out, I think, on Dig BMX, but that video is fucking crazy. There's like some of the craziest tricks ever just done in a street jam by these fucking kids, and it's crazy, man. Like, one of the first clips is a dude doing a Smith to whip on a ledge. It's like, how the fuck do you even do that? Then the clip after that is a bar manual to double bar off. Like, just super crazy shit. Kid does a whip down a 10 set with a backpack on. Like, what the fuck? That's so crazy. The turnout was huge too. Like, if you watch it, there's like so many people, like hundreds of BMX riders. It was in Mexico City, I believe. So definitely good job on that, guys. That was fucking incredible. So I want to give out a shout out to Nate Vandenberg. So Nate Vandenberg is a semi-pro BMX rider in Ontario. He is on the fucking rise right now, and this dude is absolutely killing it. So go give him a follow on Instagram. I think it's Nate Bikes. Just unreal. He's always killing it. Such a good dude to hang out with. So shout out to you, Nate. Huge anniversary this week from Matt Hoffman. 30 years ago, he landed the first ever 900 in Kitchener-Waterloo at the Waterloo University on March 25th, 1989. That was a huge trick to pull for action sports. I believe it was the first 900 ever done in action sports, so between skateboarding and everything else. So insane, Matt. That was incredible, and it's crazy to see people still around his age that are doing it, like DMC, Dennis McCoy. He does them, and he's like, I think 45 or older. So pretty incredible, man. We got the Go Fast Pull Up is out now, the Jimmy Levan documentary. That is going to be fucking sick. They just did the premiere for it last night at Swamp Fest. That dude is a living legend. If anybody here doesn't know who he is, he's the original Sean Burns, essentially. He has sent it, like, down some of the craziest shit ever. He was the owner of Metal Bikes, which was a company before Bone Death was around. It's kind of like the same thing, but incredible. We got two pros this week that left their sponsors. Sean Mack is off fit for Stranger, and then Stranger also got a hold of Stevie from Federal. So pretty crazy. Those are two really, really talented riders, and I wish them the best. That's going to be cool to see what happens. I'm hoping to see more stuff from them soon. We got Canada 2 coming out very, very soon, I hear. Landon Barnes is an absolute legend. He kills it behind the lens. Shout out to you, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you got in store. We got Swamp Fest going on right now, which is absolutely crazy. I'm sure you guys have been following all this stuff online, and it is nuts, man. That fucking loop is ridiculous. Like, built out of skids. They did that about 15 years ago, too. And absolutely crazy to see what they've been doing there. Corey Nastasio did a backflip over the huge, like, I think it's like a 30-foot gap, and a dude front flipped him, like, right behind it. Absolutely insane. So if any guys are wondering, Space Goats is officially sold out. Definitely huge thank you to everybody that bought a copy. I worked my ass off on that video, and I'm really happy to see some of the feedback that I got. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it. If you would like to order another copy, please let me know. I'm looking into getting more. I just want to make sure that people are actually going to keep buying them. So definitely huge shout out to the entire crew for doing that. They absolutely killed that video. It is pretty awesome. It's probably my most prized possession, I guess you could say. I worked my ass off on that, and it's happy to see that it's going somewhere. So thank you to anybody that's actually picked up a copy. That was really awesome. Thank you. And I just want to let you know that we're definitely not slowing down here. We're going to try and do the podcast pretty regularly. And we got some jams on the way too. So we got the Money Talks jam, which is going to be June 30th. Definitely come out for that. I give away my own money on this, and I have a good time. So I'm hoping that everybody comes out and we can get some banger shit going down. So definitely just want to talk a little bit about music. The first three songs there. The first song was Child's Play by Copper Crown. I saw them play about a week ago before Mustard Plug, and they were absolutely amazing. They absolutely killed it. So I'm hoping to get them on the podcast one day, and we can talk about music and whatnot. The second song was Brick by Kill Lincoln. Kill Lincoln is from DC. They absolutely kill it. I love their music so much. I'm going to be seeing them this summer, hopefully. And then the last song was Stand With the Youth by K-Man and the 45s. I've seen K-Man a couple times, and they are absolute legends. They're from Montreal. They kill that like ska sound. It's awesome. So I'm really excited to see that they got new music coming out. Their new album, which is also, I believe, called Stand With the Youth, will be available April 19th. And then they got a tour with Faintest Idea, April 27th it starts. So definitely got to check that out. Let's see here. We got the Planet Smashers' new album coming out, Too Much Information. It releases May 10th. Definitely really excited to see that. Death From Above has their new tour. It's starting up very, very soon, I believe. It's in June. And Louis, yes, I will ship to Nova Scotia. Just send me a DM and I can hook you up with that. My good friends from Illicit are playing pretty regularly nowadays, so go check them out on Instagram. I shout them out pretty regularly, so they absolutely kill it. I got a song by them later on. We got Pooza Fest in Montreal. It's like a pizza and poutine festival with ska and like punk rock. So that's going to be really cool. A lot of good bands going there. Alrighty, so I'm just going to go get Neil on the phone now. And yeah, so we're going to just put on a couple more songs while I get him on the phone. We got Be Like Max's new album, Save Us All. So we're going to play I'm Not a Toucher by them.
I should read more now that I'm 30. Try and act like an adult sometimes, but I sleep too late cause it's hard to get out of bed these days. I hardly do care anyway. I'm never got thinking I'm sometimes I drink. My lady is pissed when I drink and drive. I'm not a role model, but at least I'm not like Cosby. What a piece of fucking shit he honestly should be out straight while in prison. So we no longer sticks his dick in. So pass out chicken bed. And it makes me sad cause I don't understand how some people have to be so fucking worthless. Like they just can't fight these urges and they don't know what respect is. At least I'm not like them. Not like them. Not like them. At least I'm not like them. Wake up, get set, get drunk. Grow up, wake up, get sad, get drunk, grow up. You were my first transition to make, and I didn't know it until it was too late that you had these demons in your head that came to life.
Alrighty, and we're back. So we got Neil Fraser on the phone now. He's a writer for RideUKbmx magazine. He actually gave me quite a few articles on RideUK, just the website, but it was amazing. So that's how I met him. And Neil, how you doing, man?
All right, Cam. Yeah, not too bad, mate. How's yourself? You all right?
Yeah, I'm wonderful. Thanks for joining us today. And we're just here today because we want to talk a little bit about the death of RideBMX as well as just print in general. So one thing that happened a long time ago was Ride UK, the magazine, actually kind of shut down. They had the website still going, but the actual print media has been gone for a little while.
Yeah, that's very true, man. That was a sad day, a very, very sad day.
Yeah.
I mean, as a young kid, I used to read that magazine all the time. You know, go to the local shop and get a copy every week. Every month. And it was just sad, you know, because it was just after I sort of started with the magazine. So I had about 5 or 6 issues where I'd actually sort of had my name in print. You know, I'd been a part of the magazine, or I'd loved the magazine for a long time, but it's really sad to see it go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely very unfortunate. I actually used to read those magazines all the time. I actually have the covers from quite a few of them like taped onto the top of my desk. So
Really?
yeah, it's
Right.
I get to see it every day when I'm working away on stuff. So it's definitely really
Oh,
sad.
cool.
I really enjoyed that magazine as a kid. That was like one of the things that kind of got me to love BMX more and more was just seeing these crazy like well-written articles as well as just some of the
Yeah.
photos that were in there. And I feel like it must have been super meaningful to like be able to work with them. So before we get into that, how did you get into
Yeah, yeah.
BMX?
Man, that's a good story to be honest. I mean, one of my friends, Jim, it was a long, long time ago when I was in school. I was probably only like what, 14, 15. One of my good friends came into the street with a brand new Diamondback Joker. I don't know if you remember those. Um, but yeah, this Diamondback Joker, it was brand new, and he showed up with a bunch of my friends at our house. Basically, we took turns riding it around the block over and over, just doing no-handers and jumping off curbs and stuff like that. I don't know, just from that day, I was pretty much hooked on it. So next day, I asked my dad to go and get me a BMX. We went out to the local bike shop. I ended up buying a free agent Hellcat. I don't know if you know that brand at all.
Yeah, yeah, I had a
Free
free
agent,
agent
yeah,
when I
yeah.
was a lot younger.
I mean, damn, the Hellcat was so heavy though. It was an absolute tank. Like it had like sort of army graphics on it, and it was that heavy. I'm sure the frame was about 8 pounds,
Damn,
just the
yeah.
frame itself. So like I was a little scrawny kid. I mean, I'm still scrawny now, but I couldn't do much on it. But I remember a week after I got that bike, I dented the rear chainstay jumping a brick from a grass flyout. Didn't tell my dad about that at all, but that's what got me into BMX originally. Just sort of riding around the street, having fun with my friends, and then all of us, like all of our crew, just end up sort of either borrowing parts or buying frames and stuff like that, and just building up bit by bit and helping each other out.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, what's crazy is that my first BMX bike was actually a Diamondback as well. I bought
Oh,
it off
really?
some kid when I lived in like this super small town. I like delivered papers all the time and like newspapers, which I feel like that's almost
Yeah,
dead too. But yeah, I
yeah, yeah,
delivered newspapers and just bought this bike off this kid, and then kind of got into BMX through that, and then ever since then I've just been riding and riding. So it's
yeah.
really cool to
That's
see that
cool, man.
it's like the same brand of bike that got us both kind of going into it. So
Yeah, that's it. Well, it was those kind of brands that were about back in the day, like Diamondback and Haro. I had a Haro Zippo was my next bike. It's like a
nice.
bright yellow, awesome bike, man. I had a Haro 540 Air back in the days as well, and we used to ride street with all these bikes. They weren't built for street. We used to just send them down stair sets and like snap standard wheels and shit, but it was fun.
Oh fuck yeah, man! That's like how BMX is, right? Like it's
That's
awesome.
it. Stuff that isn't built for street, you just fucking send it anyway, and
Fuck
it's just
yeah,
all for the best. Fold wheels and shit.
hell yeah. So you mentioned that when you were a kid, you used to get the Ride UK magazines, and what was it like
Yeah.
to kind of apply and hope that you got the job there, and then finally learn that you actually did get hired in at Ride UK?
Man, for me, it wasn't actually like an application process, to be honest. It was pretty strange how I ended up getting the job because like many years ago, I used to work for this. Well, not really work. I used to help my friend out, H-Man. I mean, I've got to give him mad props for sort of helping me out, taking me under his wing, and teaching me the tricks of the trade with the whole sort of website posting side of things. So, I mean, I had a big interest in web design. I used to work for Street Fire, just doing the odd post here or there and stuff on the message boards and stuff like that. This is well before Facebook or Instagram or any type of social media whatsoever. There was just message boards. That's where you would that was absolutely vital to BMXs back in the day. We're talking like the late 90s. So if you had a computer, Street Fighter message board was the place to be. Everybody sort of arranged meetups and jams and just chat shit to each other there. But yeah, that was like the golden age before social media kind of took control and everything got sort of diluted. But with Ride UK, sort of Cleggy, the guy, hats off to Cleggy. Basically, I met him many years ago at a skate park. Bought a video camera from actually. It was an old JVC camera. Bought this camera, did a bit of filming on it and that, and we kept in touch. But Cleggy started working for Ride, and basically he noticed the stuff I was doing on Street Fire. One day I was working for Royal Mail at the time, and I got an email from Cleggy saying, "Look, do you want to come and work for Ride? Do you want to I can't pay anything, but if you want to come out and sort of help out a few bits and pieces." So that's where I started basically, and then started getting paid in parts, and I took it from there really. So I ended up working part time, and then got a full time wage, and yeah, here I am.
That's awesome, man. That's incredible. It's really cool to see that, like, just that kind of stuff can actually take you somewhere, right? Like, just buying a
Yeah.
camera from somebody could change your entire life, right? So,
That's it, man. That's it. I didn't quite realize who he was. I knew, Cleggy was quite big in the scene and a well-known lad, and he was a sound geezer. He's always been a really nice lad to sort of keep in touch with. But just when that offer came through, I couldn't believe it. Obviously a magazine I've read as a kid, and then just getting the offer to work for the magazine was fucking mind-blowing.
oh, exactly. So,
So yeah.
my next question is, when do you think BMX was in its prime? Like, when was BMX the best? When was it like you could show it to anybody and they would fucking love it? You know what I mean? Like,
For me, dude, I've got to say, like, the age of the Mike Aiken, the Van Homan, fucking God, like, my favorite riders are the ones that I used to watch on things like Wide Awake, sorry, can't get my words out, Wide Awake Nightmare. You'd watch Square One videos and you'd watch all the old. To be fair, like, I grew up watching all the local stuff, which was like the NSF stuff, NSF 1 and 2. I don't know if you're familiar with any of that, but it's like local UK, Northeast stuff. But then, you know, all the videos started coming through of Van Homan and all these crazy guys that could do all these good tricks. And I don't know, I would say late 90s for me. It was probably the golden era for BMX. But, you ask other guys, they'll say, 80s or whatever, but it's whatever's personal to you. And for me, it was like growing up watching the likes. Van Homan was my favorite rider, and I just used to watch fucking, Criminal Mischief over and over. The craziest moment was actually getting to speak to, Van Homan, and I've bought some bar ends from Berringer as well, and it's crazy, growing up and actually getting to meet your heroes is a big thing.
oh, of course, man. It's pretty crazy, and it's also like insane to think that they still ride to this day and they still ride
Yeah.
harder than most people. Like, even
Thing
after
is,
Mike's crash, he's still like throwing
yeah,
down.
he's
So,
still killing it, and he hasn't lost the style at all. That's the thing. He's just still got it.
yeah,
It's like
exactly.
like they say, once you learn how to ride a bike, you can ride a bike anytime. But that kind of style is hard to teach and hard to get back once you've lost it.
Oh, of course.
Um, but yeah, man. I mean, Holman's still sending it down huge rails, and you've got the likes of, you know, fuck me. I'm just trying to think of some old riders who are still killing it. I mean, Fids is still, he's kicking on a bit, but he's still sending it, man. So
I have Fids on
props to these
Facebook,
guys.
and a while back he posted a video of him hitting the Nitro Circus mega ramp jump and
Oh shit,
fucking
yeah.
doing a nothing over it. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, he
He's so
kills it,
crazy,
man.
man.
He, like,
He's
about a
so
year
crazy.
ago, he was like backflipping a dirt jump, and I think he broke his femur, but he was back in like 2 months almost on a bike.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
crazy, man.
Those kind of guys are like old school, they'll fucking take slams, they'll get back up and they'll get back on the bike. And, me at this age, I mean, I'm 32 now, and I feel it now when I'm falling off the bike. You don't bounce anymore. You fucking, you land into
That's for
a
sure.
pile of bones, basically, But, hell, it's a part of getting older. You just sort of, you don't bounce like you used to.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. So I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about the, I guess we could call it the quote unquote death of Ride BMX. So what
Yeah,
people don't really know is that this wasn't just Ride BMX. This was any Transworld company. So Transworld Snowboarding is no longer a thing. Transworld BMX is no longer
yeah.
a thing. Transworld Skateboarding is gone. It's all of these brands all in one. So I feel like you would probably be able to give us a good reason on kind of why that happened if
Um,
you would really know. But
To be honest, dude, I'd love to answer that question, but Ride US it's completely different from Ride UK. That two different companies.
yeah,
Right, Transworld owns Ride US, or whoever owns Ride US, and we're owned by a different company. But I mean, the last I heard, I read on Vital BMX that apparently they're not completely down and out. They're on pause at the moment. Something to do with like a current national news story affecting the parent company. That's what I read, and I thought it's all a
so
bit vague, but
a
I
big
think.
thing a big thing
Sorry.
that people don't really know is that that story actually is affected with Jeff Bezos, so the owner of Amazon.
Oh,
Yeah, so
right.
it was actually like it is in part due to him sending nude photos to this fucking girl, and
Oh
then
my God.
yeah, it has something to do with
Right.
that. It's like somehow gotten thrown into there with
Like a trickle down effect.
essentially, yeah,
Yeah.
because he owns the Wall Street Journal. So there is another
Right.
news site that got bought out by somebody that doesn't really like him, I guess, and they're trying to kind of push some pressure on him. And I know that that's kind of, at least that's what I've heard, has brought them kind of in this situation. So correct me if I'm wrong, like anybody.
Right. I never knew that. If that is the case, holy shit, that's that's crazy, isn't it? Like
I'm
how
like
one thing can affect something completely different.
I'm like 95% sure, because the parent company that owns them was bought out by the same person who was in the middle of doing all this stuff with Jeff Bezos. So
right.
Absolutely crazy.
Damn. That's crazy, yeah.
But why don't we get into a little bit about the death of RideUK? Because I had no idea that you guys were really like gone. If that's okay with you.
Again, I mean, to be honest, I can't really say much about it, man, because like,
no, that's okay.
All I was told was, at the moment we've got to take a little bit of a break. I know the social media presence. I mean, I haven't been posting myself personally in a few months since sort of September time, but I think we're kind of on pause, but we've sort of hit the pause button again and we're back on play, so I can see, there's a few posts coming up here and there.
Yeah, I saw one today. Somebody's at Swamp Fest right now. I saw it on the RideUK Instagram.
Well, that's it. I mean, I'm still in good touch, keeping in touch with Robin and all the guys, and to be fair, it's not really, we're not down and out. I think RideUK is back on the up, to be fair. I can't say too much, but it's promising news. That's all I can really say. I know it's a really sort of politicians answer that, dude, but
no, that's okay, man. I completely understand. I'm definitely really hoping that you guys will be back, as well as Ride and the rest of the Trans World brands as well. Just I find that they have such a big impact on people, and even for myself, the first time that I saw that I had an article posted about me, I was fucking mind blown, man. So again, you were the first one to do that for me, so thank you so much, man. It was really,
man. No, respect,
really meaningful.
You, man. I've got to say, all the people that I've sort of helped out along the way and stuff. It's all just because I love BMX. I love the passion. I love seeing people's reactions when I've shared this stuff and that. It's for me, it was a nice feeling. I never saw it as a job. It's just, for me, it's something that I enjoyed doing, and I got to sit there and talk about something I enjoy. And occasionally get paid for it as well, So, hey, it was a dream job. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm finished with Ride. I'm just saying that it's on pause for me at the moment. One day I might come back, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping that it does. Next thing that I kind of wanted to talk about was the actual death of print media and how that came along. So I personally am I understand it. It was a big thing that, these companies aren't getting the same support they once did, because we have a device in our hand that we can see videos of all of this stuff. We can see Instagram, we get all of our news from there, and I know I'm really bad for it too. I use Instagram all the time, but
dude, you're so right. I mean, to be honest, the whole thing is people's attention spans have got a lot shorter over the years. That's one thing I've noticed, with the stats in the background on Ride articles, and, you'd post an article, you'd post a video, you'd see how many views there are, you'd see how many minutes people have watched the video for, you'd see how long people have been on the page for, and page clicks and shit like that, and you could see it sort of going down over the years, and the reason for that is because people, younger kids mainly, have this device in their hand that they can so easily, scroll with your thumb. You watch a bit of a video and then you think, what, fuck it, I'll watch something else, and scroll down. And it's the way media is these days. It's so easily accessible, and it's not like the old days when you'd save a bit of money and you'd buy the next BMX VHS that would come out, or DVD, and you'd sit down with a bunch of your friends and watch it. It's not like that. It's back in the day. That's how it was. But now it's just so easily accessible, and people, as I say, there's such a short attention span. That's it. I mean, people didn't pick up magazines as much. For me, taking a physical magazine on a trip somewhere, or going on a train on a journey somewhere and having that in your bag just to take out and read was great, a physical copy. But it's just, everything's so easily accessible these days, and it's just went down the shitter, to be honest with you. That's my
No, exactly. When I was in high school, I ended up actually buying these magazines all the time because I could read them in class. I was just allowed to do that. You can't be on your phone, obviously, but you could read BMX magazines. So I did that in high school, but it's definitely upsetting to see that happen. But I completely understand why. Even myself, this round of videos has done really, really well, for Space Goats, and I'm definitely very happy with all the support that I got. But I found that it was very hard to hype it up as much as the last video. And
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it too has to do with the death of Facebook as well. Like a lot of people aren't really using Facebook as much anymore, at least over here.
Yeah.
Like most people in Canada or the US are using Instagram a lot more, just because I feel like Facebook is kind of older now. It's not really the same it used to be. So I find that personally, if I post something on Facebook, I might get like 20 likes, but if I post it on Instagram, I'll get 80. So it's definitely
that's true. You know what it is? I mean, Instagram's a lot of media. All it is, it's a video or a picture. You know, and a lot of people, again, attention spans. People like looking at a video or looking, you know, a short video or a picture. So it's, you know, it's quite short. But with the beauty about Insta is you can post on Insta and it shares to Facebook, you know, or whichever platform you want. And there is that many platforms out there to use these days. So it is, like, you're very right. You know, Facebook sharing wise, sort of the connectivity and how many people are viewing your page these days. It's Zuckerberg pulling the strings basically at the end of the day. You know, unless you pay to boost your posts, nobody's going to see it unless you devise quite a, you know, sort of a good posting schedule or a good tactic to combat that. You know, otherwise you've got to pull out money for people to see your posts.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that I'm going to be doing pretty soon with this TV show that I'm starting. It's going to be an animated show, but I'm going to be doing a lot of like sponsored posts through Instagram because I think that will drive a lot of attention towards it.
I think so. Yeah.
But
I think that's probably the right way to go, dude. To be honest with you.
Most likely. One thing that I find too now is that a lot of people don't really even have like DVD players anymore. That was a big reason that people weren't buying copies of the video, was just that they don't have a thing to play a DVD on. So
that's absolutely crazy though, isn't it? You know, I mean, hell, you know, back in the day, VHS players, that's where we started out, and then VHS has got phased out, and now people haven't got DVD players. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So I think I'll definitely get a lot of plays when I release it online, but I'm just kind of trying to figure out a good way to do it at the moment. But moving on from that, we got... let's talk a little bit about... I don't know if you can answer this question or not. One of my favorite parts about BMX is the Nora Cup every year. People kind of just get along and they all discuss like the best riders or the best video part, or like somebody who's contributed so much to BMX. And I definitely think like if that isn't around anymore, it's going to be a huge blow to BMX. And I don't know if you can really answer that or not, but...
No, I mean, to be honest, it's down to RideUS. You know, it's sort of, I don't know, Nora Cup and RideUS were sort of hand in hand. You know, they used to go together. But it's the same with, I mean, we used to have the Reader Awards with RideUK. You know, again, I don't know how that's going to go, but you're so right. It's, you know, these kind of people bust their asses every year, you know, year in, year out for, you know, for video parts or just for the hell of it, you know, for little Insta videos and things like that. And, you know, to have them celebrated and to have them, you know, have a little award and an event and stuff like that, it's a huge thing for BMX. You're very right. It would be very sad for that to go, but I can't really comment on the future of Nora. You know, it is down to the organisers, dude. It's out of my hands, unfortunately.
Yeah, of course. So kind of going back onto the Instagram thing, we have seen kind of the effect that it's had on some of the riders nowadays. Like, some of the riding that we're seeing is some of the best ever. Like, the shit that people are doing is absolutely ridiculous. Like, look at the things that have been done on El Toro. And I hate to use El Toro as, like, an example because it's just so overused. Everybody goes there to try and get famous. But it's like, I just saw a video of a dude doing a lucky down the rail. Like... Well,
yeah, I saw that, actually. That was fucking crazy. Who was that? Sorry, again, I'm just trying to remember now.
I actually have no idea his name. It was like...
Fuck, I should know this.
Yeah, I think he's like a vlogger or something. So it's really weird to see that too, right? Like, people that are doing vlogs are going to El Toro and trying these crazy sets just because of
the name of the place.
Yeah,
and like,
exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's not even just only BMX riders. You got people going down in fucking shopping trolleys and you know,
exactly.
Crazy guys just sending it down the stair set. But I haven't seen anybody attack that rail with a you know, pedal or a crank arm slide before. That was something else.
Yeah, there was Dylan Stark did a crank arm on a mountain bike down it.
On a mountain bike?
Yeah, it was nuts, man.
Man.
Yeah, he did that, and then somebody else came by and did a crank arm on just a BMX, and they were super young. I think they were like 16 or something, and then
That's the one that I saw actually. Yeah, just a young kid doing it.
yeah, and then there was the Lucky Grind down it the other day. I forget the name of the guy, but he's a vlogger, and he had like a clip of his girlfriend riding down the set too.
Really? Right.
Yeah. So it's absolutely crazy to see stuff like that, right? Like we have these crazy spots that have been built up by legends, and now it's just an Instagram clip, right? And I know
people are just turning up, just to film something for Insta. It's, you know, you'd see these spots back in the day like Brooklyn Banks, and man, that's one place that I always wanted to go to. You know, always wanted to travel over to New York and just go ride Brooklyn Banks. You know, just used to see likes of Edwin De La Rosa riding the place and just think that place looks ideal. But now, again, you get people turning up, vlogging or Instagramming and stuff, and the spot just sort of gets defamed a bit, you know? That's the way I feel.
No, exactly. I completely agree with that. It's definitely, it's upsetting to see, but also, like, insane. Like, we had Lil Juice do the tail whip down it, and I know Anderson tried that years ago and broke his foot, and there is, like, the kid who did the double bar down it. I think it was, what's his name? I think it's Adrian Rides, but he did the double bar down it and just, like, clip on Instagram. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, just not even just a normal, like in a part or anything like that, just an Insta clip.
I definitely think that the effect of Instagram has, like, a huge, like, it pushes people away from the traditional, like, BMX media. So, like, just videos that people are, like, full-length parts and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, my crew and I have always really tried hard to make sure that we try our hardest to make the video, like, the best that we can, and we wait as long as we can, and we do all this stuff, and it's crazy to see that, like, a lot of it would just be better off on Instagram, right? Like, people would see it.
That's the sad thing, though. Right? I mean, what you should be doing, really, I mean, saving the banger clips for the full length video or whatever whatever project you're working on, and the little clips that don't quite make the cut, put those on Insta. But I'm one of those guys who I've got a stack of clips from some of the lads who've they've sent big reels and kinkers and all sorts of stuff, and I've still got those stacked up. And what I'm planning on doing is just compiling it all up and releasing sort of a crew video. To me, that's the way we used to do it back in the day. But it's good, it's good to see these bangers on Insta as well, because it gets your followers up, it gets people gets people talking about you and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's a bit of both. You've got to have a level balance of that kind of thing, I think, if you're filming.
I definitely can agree with that. About 3 weeks ago, actually, I did the premiere for my video, and I rented out like a bar, and we did it there, and the turnout was absolutely huge. And from the moment that the video started till the moment the video ended, there was not 5 seconds that people weren't screaming or clapping or stoked. Like, just that kind of level of hype kind of behind it. It meant the fucking world to me to be able to sit there and like see the reactions that people have to the hard work that we've done, right? And I definitely think
that must have been so good.
It has a way better effect on you as a person to be able to work your ass off on something like that for so long and be able to see the result right in front of you, rather than just go and post it online and you might get a couple comments, you might get a lot of likes.
Exactly.
But it's like just such a false sense of like happiness because of it, right? Like, I know for a fact people support me because people came out and they paid to see my video.
Paid money to watch, exactly, man.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, fuck, you can't beat a live BMX premiere with a bunch of fucking rowdy BMXers and beer. Can you? It's like...
Oh, exactly.
It's one of the best things, man, because there's always, every trick that screams. I mean, shit, when I went down to House of Vans, London, we watched, what was it? It was a Brighton and Ready premiere, and it was just rammed with BMX riders, pros and people from all walks of life, just having a good time, and just every trick, there was just a scream, so it's good to have those people that are by your side, like-minded people that you're just sitting and having a drink with and enjoying BMX, and that kind of thing. It's vital to BMX, I find,
Absolutely. It definitely, it's very, like, I think it brings the community together too, right? So I always do BMX jams here just because I find that it brings the community together. Like, I've went out and bought frames with my own money to give away, and just to see people like really love BMX, right? And a lot of the shops around here are 100% willing to support. Like, I've had Backpedaling Bike Shop, which is a huge bike shop in Ontario. It's probably the biggest bike shop in Ontario.
I've
They've
actually
supported
heard of
us.
that bike shop, believe
Yeah,
it or not.
dude,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
crazy, man. They
That's
play
sick.
there is amazing, dude. He absolutely kills it. And then my good friend Anthony from Harvester Bikes, he always is doing something for BMX. He does vlogs with his channel. He
Sweet.
does old school bikes all the time. He constantly does jams, and his jams are huge. It's absolutely crazy to see some of the stuff that goes down there. Like, I did a huge rail hop at, I think it was the 2016 Harvester Jam, and just like some of the other stuff that's in there is just crazy. So it's really good to
Sick.
see like that kind of stuff happening in the community. I definitely know for myself, like those are some of the best days of my life is just fucking hanging out with a whole bunch of people that all love BMX.
Yeah, yeah. Can't beat it, man. Honestly, you can't beat it. That's it. Just like-minded people who love fucking doing tricks, drinking beer, and having fun. You can't beat that kind of shit.
That's for sure. So my next question is, what is your thoughts on whether we're going to see a death of full lengths due to Instagram and YouTube and everything like that? Do you think that that will be something that will kind of die out a little bit and people won't be doing it as much anymore?
I can't see that happening, to be honest, dude, because there's always going to be the old school. There's always going to be those people who love the full-length DVD or the full-length, you know. Yeah, I mean, it might be the case that DVDs themselves physically might die out, you know, but I mean, people still will want a hard copy of things, you know. It's maybe the numbers of the DVDs produced would die out, I would say, because there may not be that many people who want to actually buy the DVD itself as a physical copy, but if you release it online, you know, everybody can watch it on the phone or watch it on the tablet or wherever, you know. So I think the full length features themselves, I think people will start, you know, keep filming for them. You know, projects like fucking hell, you know, Fitz DVDs or just long full length DVDs are the backbone of BMX. Really, it's what people grew up watching, and it's something that you can put on play in the background and just have your friends around and stuff. So I can't see them dying out, to be honest. But yeah, it probably will dwindle down in the numbers, I would say, over the years.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with you on that. It's like pretty crazy to see. I'm really excited to post my video online just to see what people really think, and I can definitely say that this video is like fucking crazy, man. So I'm happy that
Yeah,
like the people that have bought it have gotten it, and I'm really hoping to see companies like stick with the full length video and like stick to the roots of BMX, right? Like
yeah,
I know for
dude.
myself,
That's
there's nothing better than just sitting down, drinking a beer, and watching like a new video that just came out, or even watching an old video. Like one of my favorite videos is Anthem 2 from Props.
oh man, yes, you're speaking to me now. That's one
Yeah,
of my favorites too.
that
100%.
video is absolutely crazy, and like some of the stuff that they did back in the day, like Road Fools, was absolutely crazy.
Oh,
Like
yeah, all
just
the
some of
road
the stuff
fools.
that they were able to kind of do because of BMX and the money that they would make from these videos. Like I would love to be able to do that now, but I don't
Oh, it'd be
know
so
if it would
sick.
be the same, right? Like I guess you could
Yeah,
probably try and do it through YouTube, but it'd be more like a vlog than anything because you need to have that watch time. You need to have people there, and you
yeah,
can't film 20 minutes of BMX footage that's all bangers in a day. It's just not really
exactly.
possible.
It's not physically possible, is it? Unless you've got somebody like fucking Garrett Reynolds on hand, you know, who
Yeah,
just can
exactly.
do, or you know, Courage Adams or somebody who can just bang them out one after the other over and over. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's for sure.
it's not physically possible, man. But you know, I'm stoked to see the DVD though when it does come online. I mean, fuck, I was hoping to get a physical copy, but I hear you guys have sold out now.
Yeah,
So
I
congratulations on that.
might be making some more. So if I make some
Oh
more, I got
really?
a copy for you. Don't worry, man.
Sick, sick.
Hell
Thank you
yeah.
very much, Cam.
Yeah,
No,
no
I
problem,
appreciate that,
man.
man.
Um,
Excellent.
so I wanted to touch a little bit on BMX as a whole. Do you think it's evolving with the world around us, and just maybe that's why print media is dead? Is just that everybody is able to kind of see everything? Do you think that people are going to more events now that we have it right in front of us? Like, look at the turnout at Swamp Fest or the new
Yeah,
video that
yeah.
just came out the other day from the All Day BMX shop. Like their
Oh, that
jam
was so
video,
good.
dude, it was
Yeah, that was so
crazy.
good. I mean, it keeps, you know, to me, I've seen the ups and downs. You know, I've not been in BMX for all of my life. Maybe 10 years with Ride UK, and I've, you know, followed it the rest. You know, so for me, there's been patches where it's just, you know, it's died out a little bit, and then it picks back up, and then for now, I mean, just a month ago or two, I was thinking, fuck, you know, BMX is on its last legs. You know, I thought, shit, it's going to be like the early '70s where. Yep, I wasn't around then, but I've been told that apparently, BMX died out completely and nobody sort of rode, So I thought that's the sort of way it was going to go. But I've seen videos like, as you say, this all-day BMX shop video come out, so sick. And then, Swampfest to turn out there and jams that are going on. There's the skate parks in the UK just cropping up left, right, and centre. There's a new one that's just being built at the moment. I've shared it on the Ride UK group if you get a chance to have a look on there.
Yeah, I definitely will.
The Greystone Sports Academy, I believe. I think that's the one. It's so sick, man. Like, if you get a look at that, it's a really, really big indoor place. But again, there's local parks that are shutting down, So there's a big one called Arcade Skate Park. That's actually where I met Cleggy many years ago. That's where I met Cleggy, and it's been open for many years now, and it's just shutting down. So it's really sad to see, but it's ups and downs in BMX. You're never going to have, it's never going to be. I don't think it's ever going to die out now because it's that popular with the kids. Kids are still getting into it and picking up the first bike and picking up unfortunately not the first magazine, but picking up the phone and getting a chance to see things, online, and it's good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I definitely think that there's kind of like a bittersweetness to print media dying, right? Like, it's really unfortunate to see that, but at the same time, we can feel like a little bit more by just watching some of the videos. Like, I know myself, I watch the Scotty Kramer vlogs all the time, and Scotty is like such a huge inspiration to me, especially just
the guy's a fucking hero.
Dude,
really
everything that he does is ridiculous. Like, I know for a fact in 5 years that dude will be back on his bike, hardcore, fucking killing it. Like, there's no doubt about it. Look at the stuff that he's doing now, right? Like, it's only been like 2 years.
How long's it been?
I think it's 2 years. Like,
the guy couldn't walk or like barely speak, and he's fucking back on a bike, man. It's like,
and like, unbelievable
to watch.
It is insane, and just the attitude that he brings is like so positive, and like just
so positive.
I've watched his vlogs straight from the beginning. Like, I watched the very first one the day it came out. Like, that's how long I've been following him, and he's been a huge legend for years. And it's crazy to see like kind of like how upsetting it is to see what he's gone through, but it's super inspirational to see like what he's doing with it. Right? He knows that these are the cards that he was given, and he's gonna get through it the best he can. And it's absolutely crazy. So
such a strong dude, and such a he had his family around him and his friends and his followers. I think that's a huge part in his recovery. But dude, he's such a strong man. Like, props to that guy. Endless props to him.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely a huge inspiration. I think like 50 years from now, people will still be talking about Scotty, right? Like,
100%, man.
Insane. So. Yeah, it's definitely crazy. Do you have anything else that you kind of wanted to touch on?
I'm trying to think. I mean, the release date of the new DVD then? Have you got a date yet, or you kind of just...
For the next one that I'm making?
Yeah, for the next one. I'm really looking forward to that.
Actually, I was invited into a contest through Capital Crew BMX, who is like a crew in the States, to film a video in under a year. And there's like 10 crews doing it. So we're going to film a video and just see where it goes, but
hell yeah.
Yeah, so it should be coming out next year around this time probably. So it's going to be a lot shorter, but I'm really trying to focus on doing a video like more like a props road fools video, just because I'm limited with time. So like, you know me, I rarely put skate park footage in my videos, and that's something that I'm definitely going to have to do this time around.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That'd be sweet. If you get a chance, watch some of our old Ride to Glory. Did you ever see any of those Ride to Glory sort of trips that we did?
I believe so. I can't
remember,
like but I'm pretty sure.
Ride UK's answer to Road Fools, basically.
Yeah.
Have a search for Ride to Glory when you get a chance, dude. Honestly, there's so many good trips on there, and so many good spots, and it might give you a few ideas for yours.
Yeah,
we've got some crazy challenges on there as well. That was the best bit about it. We just basically set challenges for all the riders to do, and stuff like stick a sticker on a policeman's helmet.
Hell yeah.
All sorts. But yeah, give it a watch if you get a chance.
I do about 2 different jams a year. One jam that I do is like a skate park jam, but there's a street scavenger hunt. So you get like a piece of paper and it has like 50 challenges on it, and they all have points. So it's kind of like the same thing. We had our city hall has a huge fountain that's like 50 feet long, and one of the things that you have to ride through it, but security is like so tight there. So like one crew will do it, and then like another crew will come, and then another crew, and then
Right.
like
So you
by
got to
like
kind of time it right.
by the fifth crew, the security are already outside just waiting. Like, it's
Ah, shit, man.
ridiculous, but it's definitely a lot of fun to do those. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's good to hear that you're doing so much for the BMX community up there. You know, it's really good to hear, man.
thank you, man.
No, honestly, you've done a hell of a lot, and you know the videos, the podcasts. I wish you well and everything. I hope it all goes well, dude.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, man. It was great talking with you. I think we're gonna end it
Thanks,
here.
man.
So definitely, again, like I'm gonna try and get you on the podcast sometime soon, probably again, and maybe we could discuss just other stuff as well, right? Like I want to try and
Yeah,
have
dude, I'm game.
a big call with like multiple people, and we could all talk just about
That's
BMX in general. So
Yeah, it sounds fun to me, man. Not a problem. Hit me up whenever you can. But,
hell
no,
yeah,
it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on. Anyway, I really appreciate it. And,
yeah, perfect. Thanks, man.
yeah, you take care, dude. Take
Yeah.
care. Nice meeting you.
Take care. Bye.
Catch you later, dude. Bye. Bye.
So I just want to give a huge shout out to Neil again. Thank you, man. That was very nice of you to come onto the podcast and talk for such a long time about everything. So I think we're going to end it off there. And thanks for everybody that tuned in. It was really nice of you. And I'm going to get a new one going out soon. So we're just going to end it off here with a couple different songs. First, we got Coping Mechanisms by the Donald Trumpets.